All right, let's tackle the big one, the algorithms. You know, those invisible forces that seem to decide everything about who sees our content and who doesn't. But what if the secret to winning wasn't about fighting them at all? In this explainer, we're going to unpack a huge mindset shift that puts the power right back where it belongs, with you, the creator. Does this whole thing just feel familiar? You pour hours, maybe even days, into crafting that perfect piece of content. You hit publish, feeling hopeful, and then nothing. Just crickets. It really feels like you're shouting into a void, totally and completely invisible. And this right here is the heart of the frustration, isn't it? The effort you're putting in is massive. It feels like you're pushing a boulder uphill every single day. But the reach, the results you get back, feels so disproportionately and honestly painfully small. It's that gap that can burn out even the most passionate people. You know, for years, we've kind of been told that we're in a war against the algorithm, that it's this mysterious, always changing enemy that we have to outsmart or trick or, I don't know, manipulate. But what if that entire way of thinking is just wrong? To really get a sense of the scale we're dealing with, just think about this. Google alone processes over 16.4 billion searches every single day. The digital world isn't just crowded, it's a total avalanche of information. Just creating something great isn't enough anymore. You have to be the exact solution someone is looking for, in that exact moment they're looking for it. So, what if we just stopped fighting? What if, instead, we adopted a brand new golden rule? This is the turning point. This is the one shift in how you see things that I promise reframes the entire game. And here it is. This comes straight from a senior director at YouTube. Don't think algorithm, think audience. This isn't just some nice sounding quote. It is the fundamental truth that powers every single successful platform heading into 2026. So this brings us to this new idea, audience first optimization. What it really means is you stop asking, what does the algorithm want? And you start asking, what does my audience need? Because at the end of the day, the algorithm's only job is to find the most satisfying answer to that second question. That's it. And this leads to such a crucial mindset shift. The algorithm isn't some mean gatekeeper trying to keep you out. No way. It's a matchmaker, and it's desperately trying to connect the perfect piece of content with the perfect person. So your job isn't to trick the matchmaker. Your job is to be the perfect match. So how do we actually do this? Well, it all starts with our first pillar, architecting attention. This is all about that very first point of contact, your title, and how you can earn that click without resorting to cheap tricks. I mean, this slide just shows the contrast perfectly, right? The old way was all about deceptive clickbait, promising some amazing treasure and then delivering basically nothing. Platforms now actively punish this because it's a terrible experience for users. The new way is what we're calling ethical intrigue. You're still sparking curiosity, but you're doing it by making an honest promise of the real value that's waiting inside. And look, this isn't just a guessing game. There's a real science to it. As you can see here, every little detail has a purpose. Your meta title needs to be between 50 and 60 characters so it doesn't get awkwardly cut off in the search results. You want to front load your main keyword, put it at the beginning to signal relevance immediately. And every single page on your site needs a 100% unique title to avoid something called keyword cannibalization. That's basically where you accidentally make your own pages compete against each other. Every detail is about making it easier for both your audience and the search engine to get what you're about. Now, on YouTube, this ethical intrigue thing becomes a true art form. You create a curiosity gap, hint at a surprising outcome. You use specific numbers, which tells the viewer's brain, hey, this is structured and easy to follow. And you use brackets to add that extra layer of context, like putting case study at the end. It manages expectations and builds trust before they've even clicked play. Okay, so you've earned that click. Fantastic. Now, our second pillar is all about delivering on that promise by speaking the language of user intent. And this means understanding why someone is searching for something, not just what they're typing into the box. Just think about the difference here. A super broad keyword like marketing is like shouting in a packed stadium. Yeah, there's a massive volume of people, but the competition is insane and pretty much nobody is listening to you specifically. But a long-tail keyword like marketing for a small business without a budget? Whoa, that user knows exactly what they need. The search volume is way lower, sure, but you're targeting someone with a specific problem that you can actually solve. And that's why over 70%, 70% of all organic traffic now comes from these super specific long-tail searches. And here's the thing. Every single search query falls into one of these four main buckets of intent. If a user is asking what is, they have informational intent, so they need a guide. If they just type in a brand name, that's navigational. A search for best laptops shows commercial intent. They're comparing their options, they need a review. And finally, buy iPhone is obviously transactional. Matching your content format to what the user actually wants isn't just a good idea anymore, it's really the only way you're going to rank. And this brings me to a really critical warning. The old, outdated tactic of keyword stuffing, where you just repeat your keyword a million times, is dead, gone. Today's algorithms understand context, they understand synonyms. Trying to jam keywords into your text is a massive red flag that screams low-quality content, and it can get your entire site penalized. The rule is so simple. Write for a human being first and always. All right, for our final pillar, we have to understand that being audience first means something a little different depending on where that audience is hanging out. The platform itself provides the context for how they behave and what they expect from you. A perfect example is YouTube. It's really two completely different platforms in one. For your regular long-form videos, the goal is to earn a deliberate click and then keep people watching. But for YouTube Shorts, the goal is totally different. You have to stop the swipe. The main metric there is views versus swiped away. This feeds a whole different algorithm called the explore-exploit cycle. The platform quickly explores by testing your short with small audiences, and if it does well, it exploits that by pushing it out to a massive audience. They're judged by completely different rules. And this all leads us to the huge rise of social search. Get this, for over 40% of Gen Z, the search bar isn't on Google anymore. It's on TikTok. And that algorithm works differently. It reads the text you put on your screen, it listens to the keywords you actually say in the video, and it gives you this huge caption space to work with. On TikTok, those first 3 seconds determine absolutely everything. So, as we bring this all together, what's the one hack that actually works across every single platform, every algorithm update, every single year? It's empathy. It's that simple. It's the ability to genuinely understand what your audience is looking for, what problems they're facing, and what they truly consider valuable. That's your real job. It's not to be an algorithm expert. It's to be a problem solver, an entertainer, an educator. When you focus relentlessly on just delivering value to your audience, you are, by definition, creating exactly what the algorithm is designed to find and promote. The views, the subscribers, they will follow that value. So I'll leave you with this one question. Just for a moment, forget the algorithm, forget the views, the stats, all the rankings. What is the single most valuable thing your audience needs from you right now? Answer that question with your content, and you've already won.